The title of my message is, Don't Despise Small Beginnings. Every story has a beginning, and this is mine. When I was 19 years of age, I had an encounter with God. I never saw angels, I never saw demons, I never went to heaven, I never went to hell. But I felt that God had put an elastic band around my waist. And every time I wanted to run in the wrong direction, I just felt the Lord is pulling me back, pulling me back, and pulling me back. There was a time in my life when I was 19, I was like a thirsty person. I needed God. I wanted to drink more of God. I was so hungry for more of God in my life. And really I was seeking God. And so I walked on a bridge one day, and I don't know why it was a bridge, but it was on a bridge. And I cried out to God, and I said, God, I've heard that Catherine Coleman, she's died. And God, if you want me to step up to the plate, here I am. I'll take her place. I said, Lord, I'll go anywhere. I'll do anything you want me to do. And Father, I'll do it for you. Just lead me and guide me so that I will fulfill my destiny for my life. At the time, I was living with my mom and Rob, and so I borrowed my mother's car, and I would go and look for a church where I felt like I could belong, where I felt like I was at home. And I found a church, and it was at least 30 or 40 minutes from where we lived. But every Sunday I went on my own. You didn't have to call me up and say, where are you? I was in my car going to church. No one had to follow me up and say, I haven't seen you for 2 weeks. Where are you? I was in my car and I was going to church. No one had a follow-up system, but I had a God system inside me that was drawing me to church. And so I had a God encounter, and I went to church. One Sunday, I just walked up to the pastor, and I just said, Pastor Fred, and his daughter's here today, Joy. And she was so young when I was there. And I said, Pastor Fred, I feel God's called me into the ministry. I don't even know really what that means, but what do you think I should do? And Pastor Fred looked at me and he said to me, well, Beverly, you should need to go to Bible school. I said, well, that's a great idea. Maybe that's what I should do. And I thought maybe he was going to say there's one round the corner. But he said, you need to go to Dallas, Texas, in the United States, to a college called Christ for the Nations. Well, I looked at him, and you could have just said to me, why don't you just take a shuttle and go to the moon? How was I, a single girl, going to get money to go to Christ for the Nations, Dallas, Texas? I just didn't know what to do. But I had the call of God, and I was obedient. So I went to my mother, because my mother was a very good businesswoman and quite a wealthy businesswoman at the time. And I said, Mom, I know that you've got the finances, and I know that you want to help me because I am your daughter, your favorite daughter. And I'd like you to help me out. I'm going to go to Bible school, Mom, and I'm going to go and study the Word. And then I'm going to go into the ministry. So then she said to me, Bev, if you think that God has called you into the ministry, I'm going to teach you one of the best lessons you're ever going to learn in your life. And she took my hand in hers and she said, Bev, if you think that God has called you, then I want you to transfer your trust from my hand and put it into Jesus' hand. She said, I am not your source anymore. Jesus must be your source. It was the hardest lesson I ever had to learn, but I'm so grateful for that lesson. Has anyone ever said to you when you've asked them to borrow some money or you need something, and can you help me? And they say, no, you need to go to God and let Him help you. Well, I knew that I needed to work hard and save all my money, because that's how I knew I would get to this Dallas, Texas. And so I started to work and I saved my money. I only had 4 dresses for that year, but I wasn't perturbed. I changed my dress every day, washed it, and I just had 4 dresses. I didn't even go out with my friends on weekends because I was saving. I didn't want to go to movies. I didn't want to go out to eat because that would take my money. I wanted to save my money for Bible school. I applied to Christ for the Nations in Dallas, Texas for a full scholarship, but I received only half a scholarship. I could have been discouraged, but I was not. Because on our way to our destiny, we will have the opportunity to be discouraged, opportunities to fail, opportunities to give up, but we must tap into the positive attitude of I will never give up until God has caused me to fulfill my destiny. Somebody gave me, and I don't know who it was, and I thank God for it, they gave me a book by Oral Roberts called The Miracle of Seed Faith. It's a book that honestly changed my life, and I live by it today. I learned 3 simple principles that I've applied my whole Christian life. Number 1, the first principle is God is our source. Say this, God is my source. Say it one more time, God is my source. You see, family, our job is not our source. Our salary is not our source. Our friends are not our source. Our neighbors are not our source. Our church is not our source. Our pastors are not our source. Our husbands and our wives, they are not our source. As much as I love my husband, I know that God is my ultimate source.
Thank you for watching Dr. Bev's YouTube channel. We will continue to offer dynamic and uplifting highlights from Dr. Bev's messages. Please take the time to like and share the videos. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Keep watching the Dr. Beverly Wolmarans YouTube channel.